Well, good evening. I'm back in the Peak District and I'm going to be heading up to Kinder Scout again. Hopefully going to do a couple of nights camping, get some hiking done. It's about 6 o'clock now, early March. Okay, so welcome back. The light's definitely fading. I'm gonna have to get the head torch out soon, but I know the path really well, so I'm not concerned in any way. It's extremely mild for this time of year. The temperature's about 12 degrees. Everywhere's wet, but that doesn't matter. So far, so good. So the conditions aren't really any more favourable. It's well and truly dark now. Just making my way across the southern part of the plateau and looking for somewhere to camp. I think when I bring you back next, it'll be inside the tent, nice and warm. Okay, so for dinner I'm having a tent meals. Italian inspired meal which has got almonds, Brazil nuts, winter veg, sun-dried tomatoes and Parmesan style shavings. And I'm using one of these Knock Outdoors book food bags to rehydrate it. I might find that actually I'll probably put too much in here. I'm not sure it's designed to rehydrate such a big meal, but it's pretty lightweight. I'm just going to give it a stir and then leave it for a good 15 minutes. Here we are on the Kinder Plateau. We're just overlooking Grinsbuck Clough, just down there. You can see Edale hidden behind one of the hills in the background there. You can see the pathway up to the nab yesterday that I took, and then walked along this southern edge of the plateau and then found a camp spot. Okay, just approaching a little bit of water now. Have to be a little bit careful on these rocks, they can be quite slippy. Plenty of water here though, no problems. Like it would be in the summer last year, there was very little water up here running through these streams. So we're going to head over towards Grinslow Knoll and then drop back down into Edale, and then I think I'm probably going to head back up onto the Pennine Way and head along to Jacob's Ladder, head up towards there, head up towards Kinder Low, and then I probably will do a circuit of the whole of the Kinder Plateau and then see what time it is and whether it's time enough to camp at that point or not. Hello, so we're at the top of Grinslow Knoll now. You can see it's probably very windy on the microphone. Made good pace so far. Was camped out on just the southern edge of Kinder Plateau, just directly opposite from foxholes, and there's a nice flat spot there that's sheltered between two sort of rock outcrops. It's a great place to camp. So I'm going to push on. You can see the winds coming through now. The bottom of the clouds are just above the peaks, and I'm going to head down into Edale. So I've just stopped on the way down from Grinslow Knoll. I'm going to have some breakfast. I just wanted to show you some of the hills in the surrounding area. So over there you can see Lewes Hill right in the distance there. That's Mam Tor. In the distance there you can see Edale, and then you can see the nab. That's the way I went up where those sheep are running down. Heading up over the nab you can see Ringing Roger, and then from Ringing Roger you gain access to the Kinder Plateau, and all the way, followed this all the way round last night, over the hill there, went through a fence, and then just after the fence down a little decline, and then found a camp spot. We're 8 kilometres into the walk today. We've left Edale behind and we're heading up towards Jacob's Ladder. In the distance you might be able to pick out some of the rock formations on the Kinder Plateau. The path from Edale to this point can be really muddy in places if you're not on one of the stone pathways. It's been so wet recently that the grassy areas are completely saturated and quite slippy. The paths are gravel aggregate at the moment, so it's much easier to walk on. I'm averaging about 5 kilometers an hour with a pack on. So far so good. So I've reached Jacob's Ladder now. I've just filled it with water. I've got a litre or so on my shoulder pouches here. That should see me for the next couple of hours at least. I'm going to head up towards Kinder Scout Plateau again, heading up Jacob's Ladder, which is a really steep climb, and then we ascend to about 580 metres, nearly 600 metres in places, and then I think I'm going to do the circuit of the whole plateau and then finish up at Edale this evening. So I'm still ascending. I haven't managed to stop yet, which is good. Shows my fitness is getting better. We're not far away from the top now. You can see where we've come from down there. Okay, so I'm up on top of Edale Rocks at the moment. That's the path I've taken. Jacob's Ladder down there, path up here, and you can see really good views today. You can see Kinder in the background, there's someone wild camping there. Over in this direction you can see the wall packs and Crowden Towers behind that as well. Right, here we are, there's Kinder Low. Arrived at Kinder Downfall. There are more impressive waterfalls, but actually it's quite cool to see the spray being flung back by the southwesterly wind that's coming today. I'm probably going to get a good shower when I walk past there now. So path here from all the way up from Edale really is uneven. You're stepping over rocks all the time and you can't really get into your stride like you would on a nice flat trail. So it's really good for ankle strengthening. I've got my poles with me as well. They help on some parts, but overall you just got to try and pick your way through the rocks, and you go up and down constantly. So the rain's come in now as well. Looks like the weather front's changed, so I might think about putting my waterproof trousers on in a little bit. Okay, onto the northern edge of the plateau. Okay, so welcome back. We're finished with the western side of the plateau and we're on the northern side now. This side is usually deserted. There's very few people that walk on this side. It's a bit harder to get to. The paths aren't as good. There's a lot of jumping over bogs and finding way through. It's quite uneven and it's just a bit further away from all the car parks. So if you want solitude, this is the side to come and walk on. It's stopped raining now. I've made it round to Fairbrook Naze, that's just behind me. So we're going to head over towards Sealstones over there, and then just after Sealstones pick up the crossing that will take us back to the Kinder Plateau southern edge. So we're just at Fairbrook now. So apparently it's a water source that you can rely on even if it's a little dry on Kinder. So that goes down there. Februartnaise up front on the left. And we have about 2 kilometres or so, just over, to get round to Sealstones. So we're just at the point where the pathway back over to the southern side of the plateau starts. You'll come to a little stream here just after you get past Sealstones. The path around the ridge goes round to the left there, and you can see the start of a path here. You sort of just need to head in a south-southeasterly direction and you're going to be fine. The visibility's okay. As soon as we get to the top of the plateau, we'll be able to see much clearer. And just stay high, just stay on the top of the peat hags. It isn't that difficult. It takes about 10 minutes if you're taking it carefully. Okay, success. I made it. And to celebrate, it's now raining. So I'm going to go down quite a steep path to pick up Grinsbrook Clough pathway. It might be a little bit ambitious, it might be a little bit too steep, but it's more direct, so I'll let you know how I get on. So the path is just as steep as I remember it. I think I preferred going up this last time actually. I'll turn you around. Amazing, really nice views and different perspective. That's what I was aiming for today. I've done a lot of these walks in the same direction before, so it was nice to do it in a different direction today. And yeah, nearly back to Edale. Okay, nearly there. Survived just about. I shouldn't say that, I'll probably slip now. That's how steep it is. Always think when you can't see the summit of where you're aiming for, it's either a full summit or it's really steep, and I think there's a bit of both there for that path, so watch out if it's wet, that will be slippy.